Hello, this video is about the sixth evaluation question and my answers to it. The sixth evaluation question is, what have we learned about technologies from the process of constructing this product? So it's split into two, pre-production and production. So in pre-production, before we even started filming, we had to sit down and think of a narrative, how it flows from one scene to another. It all had to be done. So for storyboarding, we did it manually, and we drew it, we rubbed it out, we made changes, and then we transferred that digitally using a software called Pixen, which was brilliant. It's like this comic book strip. It's a very fascinating tool, which I believe showcased our narrative beautifully. However, there were some slight problems. For instance, it didn't have a domestic home in the setting, so there was different settings, so in the beginning our narrative was supposed to be set at school, but however we changed that to the home, so we couldn't change that. So that was one mistake, but we know about it and we're aware. A second is shot lists. It was preconceived. We were inspired by other horror films. We started to make up of our own, experimenting. It was all about experimenting and how it looked visually beautiful. And I believe that our uses of shots are quite adds to our film, and I believe it's cinematographically beautiful, but maybe I'm being biased. Blogger, with this, I didn't want it to be too flashy, too complicated. It just showcases my work in a neat fashion. It organized, I started from the beginning and worked my way up throughout the months. So it takes you through the journey of the process of making my horror film with my group. And regarding Prezi, that was actually the first task we actually had to do about our narrative, and it was a great software tool to actually showcase. It's very smooth and easy to use. And second, now we're going to talk about the second part, production, camera work. Well, I was mostly the camera operator as well as the director, so I believe that I'm quite good at camera work. I don't need to use a tripod that much. I have a steady hand, and we actually didn't use the tripod actually at all. So we started to use only our hands. Well, I would only use my hands, so freehand, and I believe it was not shaky shots. I've talked to my teacher about it, and she thought actually we used a tripod, so that's a great compliment. However, what we learned about camera work is how dependent the camera is on light. We were working in a cemetery, obviously in night time, but however we found a spot where it was being illuminated from by lamp lights on the streets, so that gave us a source of light within the scene itself, rather than actually us getting torches and stuff, because it wouldn't be quite natural if it's just only one torch on one person. We wanted to illuminate the place. It gave a very eerie, foreboding atmosphere to it, a very unnatural, which supernatural is our horror film. Editing. Well, I was an editor. My other partner in my group was the editor, and she did very well in a sense. There was some issues because this was our first time actually properly editing a piece of work. So we used Adobe Premiere Pro, and there was some issues. It would kind of delete our clips, would go back to it, and it would just be like gone, which that was a problem. But thankfully we had it backed up. We had it backed up on a hard drive, so we were secure in that. And yeah, that was only the issues. Editing, we added effects to it, visual effects. We experimented. It was a very grueling task for amateurs. We are amateurs, but I feel like our final product it shows for itself of the hard work that we put in. Filming in a cemetery is very tiresome. That's the sixth sixth evaluation question. Thank you.